Hey guys, EST here with another great video, and this time we're talking cookware. Now, when was the last time you actually thought about, hey, what kind of cookware should I carry with me in my go bag, because you'll need something, or for, an extended grid down, like maybe you're at your house, maybe you're not, or extreme long term, like you personally have to get out of your country because a war starts or something. And now you're just going place to place, but you still obviously need to cook. Now, you can cook on rocks, okay, whatever. But then finding and carrying a rock, and then, well, you're not going to carry it with you, so you have to find one every time you move. And, I'd rather just have some 4-ounce aluminum cookware with me. And a lot of people either go that route, or they just throw a little 8-inch skillet with a top on it, or just a basic, I guess it would be like a saucepan. And that'll boil water, and technically you could put some chicken in the bottom of it or something. Let's be honest, squirrel. And that's all you think about. But what you really should think about is, number one, I'm going to lead with this one because it is the most important. Don't get non-stick. Non-stick is safe right up until about, I hate to give a number, I think 400 to 500 degrees, and it could hit way above that on an uncontrolled campfire. I mean, if you're always going to just go over coals, cool, but what if you don't have time to let it burn out to coals, and what if the coals aren't hot enough, and what if it's not raining out now, but it will rain out in the future, and what if it's too windy? If you just want to cook on anything, well, you know what I'm going to say, cast iron, except no, that's mistake number 2. That is a huge mistake if you're on the go. It's just too heavy. One little 12-inch cast iron skillet is like 20 pounds. It's outrageous. And yeah, they're virtually indestructible, ... when cared for properly. The problem is you can't care for them properly. Even back in the 1800s when that stuff was huge and you would like pass down your cookware from generation to generation, still, they had enough animal fat and butter and I guess maybe seed oils back then. I have no idea. Depends what country you're talking about, what time period. But they would season it. They would know to treat it this way and scrape it down to this. And then, it needs to be reseasoned. So we got to take oil, which is the number one most calorie dense food that humans can eat pretty much. And then you have to burn it off and kind of waste it on the pan. And well, then you can't let it get too wet. And if the coating and this and that, and you can't really boil water in it necessarily. You can, but it's kind of inadvisable over the long term because they still can rust because they're still made out of iron. It's iron coated in burned oil. I mean, that's what it is. And if you don't have burned oil or oil to burn, well, then you've got a rusty, easily fractured pan. And that's the other thing is, if you were to inadvertently quench it, which is heat it up and then get it wet, might crack. So cast iron, I don't like it. I know that's a controversial hot take, but that's why I told you the reasons. So stainless steel isn't really stainless. True stainless, steam grade stainless, is going to cost you so much money and it's really heavy. And then you're probably going to find it with nonstick. And the real reason you don't want to get nonstick, I guess I never said this, is because the Teflon or whatever is on it these days, it will vaporize into a smoke and then get into the food. And it is so bad for you. You are 100% getting cancer if you take a brand new nonstick skillet, put it at 50% higher than the temperature it's rated for on an open campfire, and then cook a meal on it and eat it, and then also boil water in it and drink it. You're gonna die. Those are for nice, safe, temperature-controlled stoves, which you don't have. So next up, full ceramic, kind of like a Dutch oven kind of thing, but for stovetop. Ceramic is an insulator, so that's stupid, but I mean, if you're already gonna cook on a rock, well. But usually what they are is it's glazed. You're actually cooking on glass. So glass and ceramic, if you get it thick enough, you could drop it on a moderately, soft dirt or anything other than a rock, and you should be fine. But they weigh a ton, and then the really thin ones are really cheaply made and fragile. So it's the worst at conducting heat. It can store a lot, though. It's the worst at, second worst after cast iron at weight, and then probably the worst out of everything at fragility. So it's just not even an option. So what do we have left? Well, I was a big fan of a certain brand called Calphalon. I found a bunch of them at a secondhand store that just charges by the pound. It's like a bin store, not like a store. I picked some up. I was all excited because I'm anodized aluminum, super thick. You could probably use this as a weapon in a war and it would still come out and cook your food. It doesn't warp. I mean, this stuff is a centimeter thick. It is outrageous. I absolutely guarantee you could run one of these over with a car and it wouldn't even warp. It would probably break your car. And it weighs next to nothing. A medium-sized pot is a pound. I love them. Except all the modern Calphalon stuff is non-stick. So there's your Teflon coating, because people just will not buy it. If you're buying ritzy stuff, which, a 10 piece is $250, that's I don't know. I mean, I paid $90 for my 8 piece, so To me, compared to Tefal, it's kind of pricey, but it's, you know, it's not made by like Tiffany. You can just get 2 different size frying pans for $90. That's not like outrageous, but it's nonstick, and you can't have that. Now, they are hard anodized aluminum. They are indestructible, anti-warp, and the best of the best, but they're nonstick. So if you can find, I think some of the older stuff is non-stick. I guess you would just call it stick. But guess what else I just found on my thrift hunting adventure, which I kind of blew the end of the video on where to get this. Pure aluminum. Not even anodized. That stuff is bright and shiny, looking like silver. It is most certainly older than I am. But I got it for $1. It weighs about half a pound. The walls are, you know, about a centimeter thick, so it ain't warping. And aluminum, you know, it conducts heat just fine. And it's not going to react to fire. It can't, like, carbonize like steel can. That's my pick. So let's take some runner-ups that I thought were nice. A while back at a pawn shop, I saw 50% off a Coleman camping cookware kit, brand new in box. And I was like, now we're talking specialized to run on, you know, camp stuff, like to just put it over a fire. Well, it's not. It's meant to work with like the Coleman little butane burner or whatever, the single burner. Maybe you put 3 chafers under it. They sell those too, I think. But man, a 6-piece like nested one that all kind of goes together and weighs next to nothing is like $50 right now on Coleman's website. A little bit cheaper on Amazon, although I hate Amazon, don't support them. A couple of their kits have like a 2.2 out of 5. I didn't even have time to research why, because just this whole product family fell apart when I read that they're made out of steel and they just got some kind of weird, like, I don't know, paint for lack of a better term, some kind of enamel. I don't know. That's going to peel off, and it doesn't even say stainless. So it's commercial grade steel, which the short version is that's not good steel. And they are non-stick, which means you get those to 400, 500, 600 degrees, you are going to regret it right up till you drop dead. So don't poison yourself with those. So I did go over to, and 100% not sponsored, campingsurvival.com. I just found them to consistently be extremely good at pricing and quality, and they like personally check all their goods. If it's on their website, it works. That's pretty much how I would describe it. And they consistently beat eBay price. I mean, I'm telling you guys, not sponsored, but I've been shopping there for 10 years. So, you know, shout out. I might seek a sponsorship for them in the future, actually. So, preemptive disclaimer, but I just typed cookware in and they have next to nothing. Because next to nothing works. What's the one thing they have? It's from Ready Hour, which is pretty good. Full stainless steel cooking kit, but it's like a little bit bigger than a coffee cup is what it looks like. It is 5-piece, which is cool. They got a little scrubby brush and they got well, let's go look at it, but it's marked down from $28 to $12.95, which usually means it's not selling or people took slight issue with it, but it has 9 reviews and they're all perfect. So I've heard good things about them. The pot actually is 34 ounces and the little mini pan is 17 ounces. So that's like not too bad actually. And then the pan like is a lid for the pot and it all packs up real nice. Comes with a mug, which is BPA free, and then a nylon mesh carrying bag. And it's only 6.25 inches by 6.25 inches by 4 inches. The only problem is if this was the truest, best stainless ever made by mankind or elves or dwarves, it probably would cost 4 times more. So I'm a little bit suspicious about how long this quote-unquote stainless would go without staining. And the other thing is acidic foods are just going to tear it up no matter what, usually. It's just how thin did they go and how careful are you going to be? And that's across the board no matter what you get, except for the just plain aluminum, because who cares, you will never destroy it. Just use sticks. Just carve up a stick, make it into something that resembles a 2-pronged fork or something, or just whatever. You know, stir with a slightly blunt, flattened stick. I mean, they're everywhere. And then you won't scratch the coating, because stainless steel is not stainless steel. It's steel coated with chromium. And if you can get through the chromium surface coat, depending upon how thick it is, that's how long it'll take you and how much damage it can survive, that it's going to start rusting out. Because chromium oxidizes, you know, so it rusts. But when it does so, it's clear. And for $13, I don't think they put much chromium on here. Still, I mean, for that price, I might pick it up the second before I publish this video. I make that mistake a lot on my other channel that has 50,000 subs. When I mention something, like a certain thing, and then everybody goes out and buys it, I'm like, oh, wait, I wanted one of those. Oops. So I did look at a couple different vendors and just said, hey, give me the absolute top-rated, best-selling, you know, hybrid between it on some websites. And consistently, Stanley came up, you know, the tool company. They make really, really, really good stainless stuff. It's like $40, $50 for one pot, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is, so that's what I would get. they openly say this will work on a campfire. So like, good luck destroying this, So for their top of the line stuff, I think it was like 50 for just a couple, but I did see an 8-piece for $40. Like that's pretty good. But let me just read to you the top couple products. Stainless, 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 stainless. Cast iron, cast iron, cast iron, cast iron, cast iron, cast iron. Now, why do people not buy pure aluminum? Not even anodized. I mean, if you can find anodized non-stick, that is the absolute premier. Otherwise, just, nice shiny, light-colored aluminum, that's fine. Well, one, it comes off in your food and people know that, and it's still debated how much and if that's bad and, that kind of stuff. But, and also, people just are so sick of having to scrub stuff and having food stick to pans when that's not what they do at home, where they have full control over the temperature and never burn off the Teflon. So people just don't buy it despite it being the best option. Although best, let me just clarify that, best overall. Here's the actual best. You guys, I'm going here if you're familiar with this. Titanium. So, okay, the cheapest but moderately high rated that I could find on multiple websites is from Toaks, which is Toaks. They make a just under a liter pot, which is like 24, 25 fluid ounces in America. So, not big. And you only get one, and it's $26, but it's made in China. So, I mean, titanium made here, good luck. So I don't, right off the bat not trust that. But it doesn't have nonstick. So, like, everybody gave it, like, durability, great. Lightweight, great for travel, great for performance. Easy to clean, that did not show up in a lot of reviews. So if you're going to get titanium, why not just get aluminum? It's just thicker. It's about the same weight. I mean, I don't see a reason to do it other than titanium. If it was pure titanium, cool. A lot of titanium is aluminum, but this one, it even says material titanium, no coating in parentheses. So it's not a thin little, foil of titanium plated with aluminum. So respect, but it's pretty expensive. It's just, $26 ain't that expensive. It's not insane. If you got the money, I would get that. Buying a pure aluminum thing right now, brand new with no stick, good luck. You're just not going to be able to. But there's your thrift stores. Thrift stores just cannot get rid of glassware. They cannot get rid of old electronics, and they can't get rid of cookware. That's where it goes to clearance. It goes to the bins. It just, as soon as they can get rid of it for like $2, it's gone. Because a lot of people bring it like damaged, scratched up, or losing its anti-stick stuff and don't buy that. Because it's already degrading. It already could be oxidizing under it. So now you get Teflon in your food, and it doesn't not stick pretty well. It's the worst of everything. Don't buy used cookware, but do if you can find pure aluminum. Or like I said, the darker colored anodized aluminum. That stuff, oh my gosh. It might as well be vibranium. I will say, if you do want something pretty indestructible, I would go with the titanium forks, fork and spoon combos, or like the little, fold out stuff, or there's all kinds of combination lightweight cooking stuff. You can find that. It's like $10 to $15 for pretty respectable, like tested actual titanium. And it is just stamped. I mean, it's, it would actually probably cost more to make it out of something else. Even I am pretty sure I have like a $20 titanium fork and spoon. So one more thing, reading back in my notes, the ceramic cookware is not always called ceramic. It's sometimes just called enamel because they put like a glass enamel or a treated chemical enamel on top of the ceramic. Doesn't really matter. Don't buy it. And yeah, that's actually about it. It's a pretty simple video, but I wanted to say it because a lot of people just, it's a huge oversight. They just think, oh, this is what I use on a daily basis. What? Why wouldn't it be perfect? Right up until you poison yourself. Or you're hauling a 30-pound cast iron skillet in your backpack because somebody told you it'll last forever. ... You just need to, do this and do this and do this, babysit it and treat it and read it a bedtime story and tuck it in at night, which, nope. I'm in a survival scenario. I'm just going to burn the living crap out of my aluminum cookware, scrape it a little bit, and then move on with my life. 4 ounces heavier. So, I have tested a little bit. I didn't want to throw this in. The ultra thin, like Boy Scout or like Army kind of style, old school camping stuff. It's stamped normal untreated aluminum. That stuff legitimately weighs about 1 to 2 ounces. I'm not even kidding. I have one kit of it. I haven't really used it because I think it might actually be decorative. It's like functional but decorative, or they converted it. I don't know. I got it at a thrift store, dude. But in theory, I mean, it would be really hard to cook on, sort of. But if you saw my, like, everything you know about cooking or survival cooking is wrong video, which you should definitely go watch, just cut the meat and the vegetables, the fish, whatever, into the smallest possible pieces instead of one big fillet. You would not normally do that except in a soup, which that's the other thing, just make a soup, because, cutting into chunks makes a whole bunch of dry surface and doesn't lock in the moisture, but who cares? Cooking it for less time but to a more sufficient temperature faster actually maintains more of the nutrients and calories. So enjoy your tasty squirrel chunks, just cut it up into chunks first. It'll cook faster, it'll stick less, it'll just cause less headaches. It's really simple. Just less time on the fire, more time doing other stuff like surviving. And that works just fine with aluminum. I mean, nonstick will save you a little bit of time if you want to scrape it, but you're talking maybe 30 seconds to just take something and clean it. Or just don't clean it and have a little, char on it, whatever. I mean, that's how grills work. But yeah, thinner, thick plain aluminum, non-anodized unless you can find anodized without nonstick coating. Or just stamped titanium. Those are the three that I'd recommend, generally in around that order. Actually, I'd say the thicker aluminum is a little more sturdy. But the thin one is fine, and it'll cool off quicker so you can put it back in your pack. I mean, it's kind of a toss-up. Durability versus weight, I feel like I could accidentally step on or sit on and crush some aluminum cookware. Or crumple it, then try to uncrumple it and have a hole in it, and that would never happen with the stuff that's like a 1/4 inch. And the only place you're going to find that these days, unless you really, really look, is some kind of estate sale or a thrift store, because they just do not make that. Not anymore, but on the upside, hey, you can make some money. And yes, you can find this on eBay, usually under $15 a pan or pot, so, if you want to take the adventure out of it, you're not going to the thrift store anyway, but look at some of my thrift store haul videos on this channel. You can find some mad prepper stuff. So hey, thanks for watching. If you like the good information, I've got more content coming as soon as I finish another really long-term project that's ending pretty soon here. So we're going to hit the gas pedal and show some really cool electronic stuff and solar and how to charge your phone weird ways and, getting back to my roots. So if you're into that, hit subscribe and check out the rest of my videos. I'm over 100 now, and thanks for 5,000 subs. I'll see you guys next time.